Hello guys, this is Vysh. So the Hindu editorial for July 19th, Wednesday, and a lot of interesting articles are there. Some repeat articles are there. So all those things we'll discuss. Commonwealth Games, India-France relationships, GM crops, many things are there. Make sure that you're watching every single day because there will be continuity. Okay, only those who are serious will understand that when you read each day, you will see that many articles are repeating or they're giving updates regarding yesterday's news. So you cannot catch up if you start in the middle. You will not understand the news. Okay, so please understand that I think July 3 we started this. July 3 to now July 19th, only 15 episodes are done. You can easily catch up. Okay, daily watch 2 episodes during your lunch time or during any time you have. Watch this in your phone and you will get a huge amount of knowledge which you did not get by the last maybe 1 year of your studies. Okay, that much content is being taught free of cost in this. So please take it seriously. Okay, so here if you see, first I will tell you the headlines of what are the important news items. Okay, first one if you see, the Enforcement Directorate and CBI, already 2 times we discussed. Again, it has come today, 2 articles have come. Okay, so that 2 we'll combine and do. If you see this one and if the third one, that ED versus police, that lot of judgments and these things are there. And again, most of the articles today are written by pro-Congress people or pro or anti-BJP people. Okay, so most of the things are like criticizing the government. All the articles are that kind of format. The second one if you see is India-France relationship. Yesterday in detail I told you many extra points which if you write in the exam you will get more marks compared to all the other people studying from other coaching classes. Okay, that many points about India-France I have told you. That again repeated. I don't know why Hindu has repeated 2 times. Yesterday it was a small article, now a little more bigger article by telling little bit stories of some old France presidents and prime ministers and all who visited India, about them, their biographies and all. From that they have taken some data that we'll discuss there. Okay, then here if you see the local news, Karnataka, again some Hindu, anti-Hindu, that kind of things. It's not important for your exam. Local politics we won't discuss. And then GM crops, which is your GS3 paper, science and technology and agriculture. So there we'll see some interesting points. And then the Commonwealth Games. Okay, so that there is a debate between some countries, like who will host the next one, because some are not financially capable. So that related information. Then here charts and graph usually comes Monday to Thursday I think. So there it's about West Bengal's poll violence, meaning in politics, you know, a lot of violence happens in a lot of states. So that is what is there, and it's not important for your exam. They've given charts like this, where you can see Jammu and Kashmir, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Bihar, Assam, Tripura, Chhattisgarh, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Delhi, Goa, Arunachal, Meghalaya, Sikkim, Telangana. These many states graph of political poll violence, especially I think 2019 Lok Sabha election. That is what they have discussed here. Okay, not like in totality or something. And the map is also given. The like red color is like too much violence and the other ones are lesser violence. So this is not again very important. Your state, you should know certain things when you go for interview and all. They'll ask you, okay, about your political views and what's happening in your state. That they will ask you. That is later part. Okay, now in early stage you don't have to start by hurting these things. Now if you are new to this channel, please read this. Okay, I see that every day the same questions are coming. Should I make notes out of it? Will this be enough? These are questions asked by such people who are going to other coaching classes who don't have foundation. Okay, so when I tell foundation, watch Vysh IAS foundation, most of you don't take it seriously. Some come and ask also. We give you the 20-30 video links, and then after that you preferably watch what you like, 1 or 2, 3 videos, and come and tell, sir, excellent, I have completed, now what to do next. Please don't do this. If you are studying from Vysh IAS, take foundation very seriously. Each and every video, without skipping the 30 videos you watch, you may save 1 or 2 attempt. Okay, the upcoming attempt itself you will pass. Many people are doing half studies. Okay, little bit selective studies. That is the reason you are failing. Take UPSC seriously. It is taking 2 years of your this thing for 1 attempt. How many of you know that it's taking 2 years for 1 attempt? I know that most of you don't know. You are giving an exam, meaning now you are studying. For what exam are you studying? Mostly 2024. Which is 1 year away. The prelims date is 1 year away. So already before your prelims, you are giving 1 year. Then from prelims, after 3 months there is mains, after 3 months there is interview, then 3 months there is a result. There another 1 year is there. So if you are clearing each stage, I am telling, prelims, mains, interview, which is your ultimate goal, that you should be in that AIR rank 1, you are giving 2 years of your time. Okay, 2 years for 1 attempt. And in that interview stage, if you fail, your 2 years got wasted. And then immediately after that interview, within 1 week, the next prelims would be coming. Okay, in case you pass. In case you fail, it is a totally different story. It's 1 year for you. Prelims day you fail like May 26th, 2024. 2024 prelims you will fail. Then you give only 1 year. But you are not preparing for that. No, you're preparing for the complete All India rank. So it's 2 years for one attempt. These are all nobody tells you, and you yourself don't realize it also, because you don't read the UPSC notification. You have never even once opened the UPSC website. There are many things in the UPSC website which an aspirant should know before going and giving the exam. Take this seriously. Okay, now just because editorial video, I don't want to make it lengthy. I'm not telling here, because all these are answered free of cost in 30 set of videos. So WhatsApp me and get that, start that. Without that, don't study anything. No matter you are joined to our test series also, somehow balance your time and watch the foundation also as a priority. Okay, else you are simply by hearting question answer, you will not pass. Okay, so test series 2024 batch 2 will be announced soon. 2025 2-year timetable test series will be announced by this month end. Okay, that is a huge plan, because we have till now never did a 2-year program. We have always done 1-year program, but there are a lot of students this year who joined Vysh IAS WhatsApp who is giving their exam in 25 and 26. So we thought, why not make a elaborate plan for them? So that is in pipeline. You just wait for it. Okay, it will be again announced through YouTube. Vysh Courses channel for state PSC exams and current affair. Please hit subscribe button for that also. Okay, so first article, GM crops. So GM crops, the meaning first you should know. Genetically modified crops. Okay, so genetically modified crops, many times prelims and mains question have come. Very detailed level questions have come, and it will again come. Okay, because it's always a matter of debate. Since last 2 decades, 3 decades, it is in fight, it is in debate. Okay, so genetically modified, the name itself tell you, some gene is modified in it. Okay, to make it better. Some crop is there, take cotton, take mustard, take rice, take wheat. You are making a better variety by introducing a gene into it, which will have something. Maybe it will protect the plant from the herbicides which is sprayed onto the plant, or some insect, something is infecting. This gene extra, when you put inside that will protect that crop, and so you will get more yield, you will get more production. So farmers happy, scientists happy, everybody happy. This is the basic idea. Okay, and across the world people are researching and making these GM crops. The definition is given: the crop which has gene artificially inserted into it from another species, even unrelated to them, to give it some desired properties. Okay, so GM crops are mostly either pest resistant or herbicide tolerant. Okay, so in India, do we have GM crops? Government, if you see, we have something called BT cotton. Okay, and after that, for food crops, if you see, okay, we don't have any food crops which has this genetically thing as of now. What we have is the mustard, GM mustard and BT brinjal. The scientists have made it and tried it, and it's always in testing. But you know who will oppose? Environmentalist, human rights, everybody will start opposing, telling this is not going to be safe, because you're going to take it into your body as food. It may cause side effects, it may cause problems. So that debate is even now going on. So we don't have a single approved GM crop which is a food crop. Okay, we have this BT cotton, about which prelims question came in 2022, I think. Ball Guard 1, okay, Ball Guard 1 in 2002 and Ball Guard 2 in 2006 by a company like Monsanto. So that Ball Guard 1, UPSC question was ditto this one. Ball Guard 1 and Ball Guard 2, sometimes seen in the news, relates to or refers to. Answer was cotton. Okay, so this much direct question they are asking. So this was actually, again, what they did is that protected the cotton crop from that pink bollworm or something. And then we had 90% of most of the crops now, cotton crops are BT cotton, and that made India the world's largest cotton producer also. So that is the basic information you have to know about GM crops and Indian GM crops. Okay, so now again the battle between environmentalists in the Supreme Court of India against the Delhi University's genetically modified herbicide tolerant mustard. This is 2018 prelims question. Okay, they had 3 statements about GM mustard. Okay, like gene is taken from soil, then it is modified, it will give more this thing. And one of the statement was, it was developed, who developed this thing, who developed the GM mustard? They gave some university something, which was wrong. Answer was Delhi University. Okay, they purposely, thus developer of the crop, the third statement they made it wrong, and every question, every statement had 3. If you eliminate 3, 3, 3, 1 will be like 1, 2 will be there, and that was the answer that year. You just had to know that Delhi universities, and this kept coming in newspaper that year also. Simply read newspapers every day, do your static basic few 5 books, then the NCERTs, and then current affairs, you will pass UPSC. Okay, one test series to support all this. This is all you need. Instead, you are doing this telegram notes, PDF notes, gist of notes, toppers notes. NCERT's notes itself from different publications. NCERT is designed for class 6 to 12th. You cannot understand that means I don't think you are fit for UPSC. Okay, so these all will sound negative to you, but somebody has to tell you this harsh reality that very, very easy things is there to study for UPSC, but it's all about gathering that into your brain and then taking it out in the exam hall. Okay, you can study, everybody can study. Do you have that retention power to store it and recollecting power to take it out? That is what the difference is. Only that is how the ranking changes. There's nothing big rocket science here. Studying syllabus are very easy. Lakshmikant is one of the most easiest way they have explained the complete Indian constitution. Okay, Spectrum is the easiest way they have written modern history. Okay, everything is very easy. Problem is you are not ready to interestingly study it. Okay, and you are getting diverted to other sources also. Economics means you need 10 other YouTubers to teach you. When there is something very simple way somewhere it will be written, that one you won't follow. Instead 10 sources you were looking for. Okay, and some in between, like every 3 months some coaching class will launch something. Yellow notes, pink notes, 365 notes. You get attracted to that. Stick to that few 5-6 sources. You will see that in the first year itself you will clear UPSC. Okay, so now coming back to this topic. GM crops are quite different from conventional varieties, we know. Okay, and even there are some hybrid things also which farmers themselves maybe develop by doing some crop rotation and all these things. That and all is different. Okay, here scientifically a gene is inserted. So GM crops are totally different variety. Okay, they select genes at random locations in the DNA of a plant to develop a GM crop, and this gives them some traits or some features. Okay, so here again for GM mustard they are telling to resist some herbicide. Okay, glufosinate they have mentioned. That also UPSC will ask. Glufosinate in news relates to what? So it's a herbicide. So that tolerant HT, that is a herbicide tolerant feature is what it gets, the GM mustard. Okay. So environmentalists, scientists, politicians, farmers, consumers, higher judiciary, all these people have different questions about the safety, the efficacy, and even the very necessity. Do we need GM food? Are we that much struggling here for food that you need to make all these GM food? That kind of questions by everybody is raised. Okay, and we have our experience with BT cotton, the first and only GM crops, that after research and all, what we see is, as of now with BT cotton, we have not had any problems. Okay, in the long term, it has enormously increased our cost. That is one thing. Okay, some companies are getting rich, like whichever company, that Monsanto company who is making the seeds and variety seeds, and they are becoming richer because obviously everybody will now purchase that to get more yield. But other than that, there is no other loss in the agriculture format or this thing. Farmers are benefited only. That is what the author is telling here. Okay. Now again, because these debates are going on, obviously Supreme Court will do something, our Parliament will do something, that they have told here. Okay. 2 standing committees of the parliament was set up. Okay, not like together, at 2 different timelines. Okay, one during Manmohan Singh's timeline 2012, one during this Modi's timeline 2017 by Committee of Science and Tech, Environment and all. So like the 2 committees are there. Supreme Court also has a TEC, Technical Expert Committee, based on some PIL which was raised by somebody. Okay, some non-governmental organization, Gene Campaign and environmentalist Aruna Rodriguez. So they raised some PIL. So Supreme Court also set up a committee. Our Parliament also 2 times have set up a committee. Now all those reports will come out, right? So unanimously everybody are highlighting the same thing. There is a major weakness in the regulatory system. Okay, our GM crops, we have this GEAC body, Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee and all, who actually I think approves the whether we should do this GM or not and all. So that there are some problems in the regulatory system. That is what the overall output of the reports have come. Okay, the Science and Tech Committee which Modi government set up, they also are telling that you should have a thorough, independent, transparent assessment of long-term biosafety, environmental risk and socio-economic impact. Okay, and again the other one, the Supreme Court Tech Committee, they told there is grave deficiencies in the safety assessment of GM crops, and that was released in 2013. Okay, way back. So from that time people are giving such reports and opposing this. That is why till date GM mustard and the other one also, okay, the food related crops are not getting approved. Okay, BT brinjal and all. So this convergence they are telling, like, are you against development, are you for development, this and all, because a scientist is telling one thing, farmer wants something, politicians want something, Supreme Court wants something, environmentalists, everybody has different stands. So are all these people for development or against development? That is all confusing. That is what is told here. Okay, so government need to approach this issue of this HT crop or herbicide tolerant crop transparently and robustly with an emphasis on precaution. Okay, but instead the government is pushing ahead, meaning this government is trying to tell that you should go ahead with the GM mustard. Okay, but the same thing, biosafety is not in place. Then despite the provision of Right to Information Act, which I discussed yesterday, proper information is not put in public domain. People don't know exactly like whether this is safe or not. That report has not yet put for public opinion, okay, before you approve and proceed with this. So that kind of thing. So there is criticism from agricultural scientists also at times. Misleading the court is also happening. Okay, the government will show some other data and mislead the court. So that issue is there. And crop that can withstand herbicide is an HT crop that we all know, but government sometimes they don't see this as a GM crop itself. It is just a small tweak like that. Certain miscommunication or misleading the court is happening. Government is giving data which cannot be accepted. That is what the author is telling. Okay, the government's argument is nothing but a red herring. If you use that red herring term, it's that same thing only. It is something which is misleading, a fake data, a fake kind of thing you are telling, and you are diverting the topic, or like kind of fooling the or mocking the court itself. Okay, so the author is telling up to that is okay, but seeing that now scientists also agreeing with government and then misleading the court, that is not acceptable. So that kind of things is written. Now at the last he is telling, if the Supreme Court allows GM mustard to go through, it will likely pave the way for the release of other HT crops such as cotton, rice and maize. The future of farming and India's food culture and heritage hangs in the balance. Okay, meaning he don't know what will happen. Okay, it can go negative way or positive way. We have to wait and see. If GM mustard is approved like that, many more they will start doing herbicide tolerant crops. Okay, that is what the author is telling. So much details are not there. It's more of politics and fighting there. But still, like the story, as I told, tomorrow another article may come. That time you will keep acquiring knowledge, and by the end of this 1 year of your preparation, you will be like thorough with GM crops. Anybody comes and asks you, you will be the best expert in this. There's also one thing I tell you, UPSC students are different from all the others. Okay, UPSC civil service exam students. You pass or fail, the knowledge which you get right, if you study seriously for 1 year, you will have excellent knowledge. Okay, you know everything, anything happening in the news, in world politics, in anything, sports, everything, you will be on number one. Okay, you will be a better citizen. Okay, so study very seriously. It will change your life. After that, whatever you do in your life, doesn't matter. You will be a very better citizen. Okay, Commonwealth Games. These are all the venues. 1930 it started. And if you see, most of the time the country names is repeating. Many times Australia is there, around 5 times. New Zealand is there. England is there. Okay, most of the times. And if you see, there is no African countries as the host. So these kind of things are discussed here in this article. 2010 India also hosted the Commonwealth game. That time lot of scam also I think happened. CWG scam. You can Google and find out. So Commonwealth is what actually? Once upon a time, you know, Britain Empire was there across the world, and slowly by 1948, almost everybody became independent. So there was that monarchy that even now they have the Queen. So it's like a Queen's wealth across the world. Okay, so it's a common wealth they had across the world. So those countries who once was under the British Empire, those group of countries is called Commonwealth Group. That group even now exists, and India is still part of that only, but we already told them that we are a sovereign country, we won't listen to your queen and all these things and all, but because there is a group, and there obviously now India is the kind of a big country and a more powerful country, so India prefers to stay in that group. Okay, even when Commonwealth Games happen, you know, India wins most of the medals there. So that is why India is happy staying in that, even though the background of that is that it was once a wealth of Britain Empire. Okay, so it's also called friendly games, and lot of like around 10-11 countries are there, 400 athletes, this many, like lot of men, women, everybody participate, and every 4 years it is held. Okay, these basics you should know, because nowadays UPSC is asking sports question. You should know Olympics, Commonwealth, Asian Games, South Asian Games, this and all. You should know a little bit information, okay, about their awards and the routine. Okay, even cricket questions they are asking nowadays. So you can expect even IPL and every silly things, they'll at least one question they'll put any year. Okay, so this is the thing, this is the background of basically what is Commonwealth Games. Now problem is, you see this, for an event to happen, the money which is involved, okay, you know, in the opening ceremony, closing ceremony, or any lot of like celebrities come there, so you have to pay crores of rupees to bring all these people to come and dance there and perform there, and this fireworks, the spectators, the everything, it's very, the infrastructure itself, mainly making the stadiums for each of the event is huge cost. Okay, very huge cost. That is why mostly you will see developed countries doing it. Okay, Qatar recently, first time when they did the FIFA World Cup hosting also, most of the people told, do they have that capacity to handle this much people? Because FIFA World Cup is much bigger. The football, meaning it's like the full world will come there. So did they have the thing? But they did it very beautifully. They have hosted it nicely. So this thing, now we need a host for the next Commonwealth Games in 2026, and that is what this article is debating. Okay, like we have New Delhi, India. There is a place called Victoria in Australia, and they were supposed to host it. That is because they decide next to 4 years, 8 years, already it will be pre-decided. Now they are telling that we cannot host it. We don't have that much money. You have suddenly changed the format and introduced some new games and all. We cannot make the infrastructure ready. We don't have the money. Okay, that is the issue. They're telling, see, budget of Australian dollar 2.6 billion was the initial estimate. Now it's gone beyond Australian dollar 6 billion. Okay, Australian dollar is different from American dollar. Okay, so it is like 12-day event only, 12-day sporting event, but we don't have that much money. If that much money we use it for our hospitals and education, that will help better for our country and economy. We don't want to waste it on one sporting game. We cannot do it now. Okay, so it was a very embarrassing moment for Australia kind of country who usually host a lot of things, including cricket and everything. So it's a humiliating moment, but they have openly told we cannot do it. Okay. And they are telling this on last line. Commonwealth Federation gave only 8 hours notice before adding some new sports to it, and some extra expenses came. This is not suddenly you told. So we cannot do it. Somebody else do it, whoever is interested. So this is not the first time it is happening. Okay, that is the second red line. If you see the Birmingham place in UK, okay, replaced Durban, which is in South Africa. For the last edition, 2022's edition, the same thing happened. Okay. Durban, Africa, they told we can't do it. So England decided to do it. Okay, again, financial issue. So this is happening second time. So it's a very bad sign for a very big event which happens every 4 years. Countries are not ready to host it. Is a very bad sign. Okay. Again, leader of opposition, same like here, the opposition shouts at the center. There also the opposition leader told this is a massive humiliation. So it's a question mark over the future of big ticket multi-sport event. Okay, because there are many advantages if you do this also. Suppose you put all the money and do it. Many foreigners will come, tourists will come, they will do shopping here, the infrastructure will be visited. It's not like they come and see one match and go away. They will be maybe spending like in a hotel or resorts, something will be done. So a lot of money comes. The goodwill goes. The country is in news for that 12 days. Everywhere it will be like world coverage. So it's a very good thing also if you take somehow manage the negativities. So it's like a humiliation. Okay, that is what the opposition is telling. And the same thing which I told you in the starting, only 5 countries have staged 18 out of the 22. Okay, which earlier began as a British Empire Games. No African nations have till now hosted. Last time it could have done, but they also replaced. Like that, everyone will be feeling bad now. Even India will be feeling bad because Indian sportsmen do very well, including the 2010 when Delhi hosted it. So now the task of finding an alternative host is the headache of the Commonwealth Federation, and they are doing. One extra thing is Ahmedabad or Gujarat is interested. Okay. Gujarat was actually thinking like 2030s we will host. Okay, India will host. But now because the situation came up, Gujarat is thinking about that, whether we can take it up and whether in the next, because it's already 2023-24. So in 2 years, can we build all the stadiums and infrastructure, all these things? Because Gujarat economically is actually one of the most developed state. Okay, if you go there, you will understand. Their roads are better, their infrastructure is better. Some of the streets you won't even believe that this is existing in India. Okay. So that when you go only you will understand. So they are capable to do these things, but center has to approve. So many things are there. Because 2 years, it's a very big risk. You announce something and then later you cannot do. Again, it will become a humiliation for India also. So that we will see when new articles will come. But today, if you did not have seen this episode and later you come, that time you will struggle. That's why I'm telling, please watch daily. Okay. Third article, India, France. Yesterday we discussed detail 1. Same like India, USA is like scaling new heights and excellent relationship we have. India, France also we have a excellent relationship. Okay, so there Modi visited there. Modi got that highest civilian honor, meaning like the Bharat Ratna of India. France, whatever award they have, that Modi got recently, and Modi has got it from already 10-13 countries. Okay, so now we are in a very good relation with France. But in this article, more than the present, they are discussing a lot of history. Okay, so 1998, you know what happened? 1998. Our nuclear test happened, that is one thing, but that time, every year we are inviting some chief guest, right, for the Republic Day parade. So 1998, the author is telling India put France in a tough spot, meaning made something difficult for them. So what it is? Okay, that person, okay, Jacques Chirac, okay, we'll call him something Mr. C or something, okay, whatever it is pronounced, Mr. C. So he was the chief guest in the Republic Day parade in Delhi, and that time's Prime Minister was I.K. Gujral, if you remember. So I.K. Gujral and this person, Mr. C, was there on the stage, and the thing happened. Okay, and also they signed India's first ever strategic partnership agreement also. Okay, so it was a very historic year for India-France relationship in 1998. Okay, now election happens in India. Vajpayee comes as the new Prime Minister, and he within 5-6 months announced that we have conducted Pokhran 2 or the Smiling Buddha 2, this thing which we have a movie also, Pokhran movie is there, where they show the nuclear bomb testing which we did. So now that time United Nations, everybody came and put sanctions on India, right? The P5 countries. You should know P5 countries are the ones who won the World War. Okay, the USA, Russia, France, UK, and 5th seat they gave to China, which India could have got. That's a different story. So China and these 4, these are the P5 countries, and we are now trying to get into that P or make it P6 or P7 by India's entry also. That is again different story, you will learn. So this time everybody were putting sanctions. France did not put, okay, because France has a very good relation with India. France did not put sanction. France also maybe would have joined them telling, okay, we condemn the test, this and all, but sanctions like we will not trade with you, we will not give you defense, this and all France did not do. So that was a sign of like the beginning of good relationship between India and France. Okay, and that strategic partnership which they signed, that also they did not scrap or tell like, okay, it's not valid anymore. That nothing they told. Okay, so now this tradition of joining each other's International Day parade is also a lot of times it has happened that Mr. C himself was guest at India's thing twice. Okay, this is 1998 we are talking about, but in 1976 also he had come once. Okay, Indira Gandhi's time, 1976 also he had come. Then 1980 another person, 2008, 2016, and that is this side. Now we went that side also, like same like Modi went now for this Bastille Day parade now which happened, which is their important parade. Manmohan Singh had gone in 2009. So Modi was the second person. This and all we discussed yesterday. So like this, it's a tradition now. Okay. And purchase of defense equipment is again a much more bigger thing. Okay. We buy a lot of like maybe helicopters, now Rafale jet or Scorpion submarines. There are many things which we buy from France. So the 3 pillars of relationship between India and France, which I told yesterday also, same thing. First thing is non-interference in each other's internal affair. Okay, that in the next slide again they will tell France is burning there because of one kid was killed and everybody was protesting. So that we didn't tell anything about that. Here Manipur is burning. France did not tell anything about this. Okay, European Parliament completely put a resolution against India. France did not support it. France doesn't tell anything about that. So we don't interfere in each other's internal affairs. Okay, then strategic autonomy. Both believe in the autonomy. You are sovereign power. We have our own decision making. So when Jawaharlal Nehru told that we are like non-aligned movement, we don't want to go to the USA side, we don't want to go to Russia side, that also France agreed only. So both respect each other's strategic autonomy. Then third one, refusal to pull into each other's coalitions, meaning France will have some group, okay, maybe with someone, some group is there, they won't force India like come and join us, that they won't do. Okay, USA keeps doing it, if you notice, come to NATO, come to that group, come to this group, USA keeps telling, but France doesn't do that. Okay, India also doesn't tell, come and join us in this thing in Quad. India doesn't do that. Okay, so that 3 are excellent points which you should use in your answer, because India-France question I think it will come, because repeatedly articles are coming. Maybe an India-France question will come in 24 or 25 prelims, okay, or 23 also now. So awkwardness in 1998 is one thing which I now told that they were in a tough spot, but for the same person in 76 when he was coming, Mr. C, that time again it was a tough spot, because what happened that time? 6 months before that only, meaning that time he had to come, right? He had to come to India. He was already invited. That time only Indira Gandhi announced emergency. Emergency is one of the most like dark phase of our country. Okay, many movies have come and many more movies are going to come also on emergency topic. So that time Indira Gandhi declared this thing. Entire world criticized India. But that time also France did not cancel the visit. He came. He attended the Republic Day parade. And the conference, something they had organized there, Paris Conference on International Cooperation, Economic Cooperation, there India was invited. So France did not react to all those things. Okay, it's your internal affair, your emergency and these kind of things. Okay, and Arab tension, US-Arab tensions were going on, Yom Kippur War, which you will study later, that also was going on. Every time France is telling it's your business, it's our business, don't complicate things. Okay, then our sectors, space sector, nuclear energy, defense, everywhere we have strong relationship. 2006 again this person returned to Delhi to sign some civil nuclear war and all. That's if you see there's NSG group, which again newcomers maybe you won't know, nuclear suppliers group is there, which again these 4 or 5 countries who have nuclear weapons and these things, who had it initially, they are a group and they believe that others, nobody should have nuclear weapon. Okay, that's why India never joined the NSG. Okay, because India told you did whatever you want and now you are telling we should not do. That is not right. So India never joined the NSG. Okay, and they start putting sanctions on those countries who do nuclear testing. That's what India also had sanctions for a long time. Later, during Manmohan Singh time and all, we solved everything and we got a waiver. Okay, because they believe in India that we will not simply use nuclear bombs on anyone. We will use it only for civil nuclear energy purposes and all. So we got a waiver. Okay, so that's a different story about nuclear thing. So here again, when that thing waiver was got, everybody thought India will sign the first civil nuclear deal with USA. But no, India signed it with France. So that shows the importance or the trust between India and France in those days. So you saw like 1976 time, 1998 time, 2008 time, like this, these timelines and these points like a bullet. If you write in your India-France answer, your answer will be the best answer. Okay, so start practicing. You yourself have to do. Don't depend on toppers notes and coaching notes. You make the best answer you want. Okay, and when you join some test series, then you submit there. They will evaluate it for you. Don't by heart other people's answers. Understand and write yourself. You will get excellent marks. Okay. So now last week's, after telling all this, okay, last down they are telling about that also, that second last paragraph, that person, right, Mr. C's book is there, My Life in Politics. In that he told, I like India, youthful passion, youthful love and passion. I attempted to learn Sanskrit. Then I love its history, democratic choices, secularism, coexistence of different culture, people. So his story they have written there. And then last they're telling Modi's now visit is like kind of the same shade of the overall relation we have. It is still continuing, the partnership is continuing, and the last line, the same thing. European Parliament criticized us, but France did not do. There everybody is criticizing France for burning, we are not doing. So everything, okay. Same day when this was happening, India-France meeting was happening, European Parliament is there passing a resolution on the Manipur violence. Okay, so it's a very good thing that India-France, this thing is going smooth. Okay. So here again, some negotiations and some things about continuity of that only, like China policy. The last lines, if you see, it's about China policy. USA and everybody tells counter China, these things and all, but France has its own diplomatic policies. They like to trade with China also. So they are telling that last line, Europe cannot be a vassal state to USA on its China policy, meaning we are not your subgroup or something. You are the main one captain and we are like below members. It's not like that. We have our own stand. We will do whatever policy we want. So that kind of thing also India never interferes. And France also told the BRICS summit will happen. Okay, BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. BRICS summit is happening in August this year in South Africa. There France told, if you invite us, we are interested to come there. Okay, so that way everything is smooth. So same thing round and round they have told here. Nothing much extra information. Okay, you can pause and read one more time. NATO plus, different examples these are, which I explained, that is why I am not repeating. Okay, NATO plus something is coming, which I explained July 6th or 7th. So NATO, you know, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. NATO plus is USA is extending that to countries which are not there in the Atlantic region. Okay, like Japan is there, South Korea is there, India is there. They are making a new thing. But our S. Shankar already told, NATO is not a template that applies to India. Don't force your NATO thing on us. We are not interested in NATO plus. Okay, so that same thing. France also told, I disapprove of your new concept of NATO plus and all. We are Atlantic countries, this is our group. You don't force other things and all. So France disapproved. India also did the same. And France has separate Indo-Pacific plans and all. France is not joining the Quad also, if you see. Okay, that time once there was a concept called Quad plus actually. Quad, which is Australia, India, Japan and Australia. There a Quad plus where France and all could have come. But later that also was cancelled. So France has its own way of dealing with the Indo-Pacific. They have separate ties with India. Then we have done a lot of Navy exercises with India. I think France and India is the only one who had a lot of joint patrols. That also is mentioned here. Try to find out, okay, India-France Army exercise will have a name. India-France Navy, India-France Air Force. These all will have some name, some exercise name will be there. Try to find out. That is your homework for today. Okay, with every country it has, but today because we are discussing France, try to find out that. Okay, so last line, while India's ties with each of the P5 country is unique, the features that sets apart the India-France relationship is that geopolitics, okay, judgments, no pressure to align their position. There is no complication there. You do your work, we do our work, and we will do trade with each other without talking about any other nonsensical things. So it's very clean. That is the difference between India's relationship with France and India's relation with the other countries. Okay. Now the last article, is again, you already know this, every now and then you are hearing, the government is controlling the CBI, the government is controlling the Enforcement Directorate. That is a new hot topic now. This article is mainly about Enforcement Directorate. So all these are not under same ministry, okay. We have the Home Affairs Ministry is there, we have our personal ministries there, okay, all the persons, the civil service, everything will come in one ministry, and we have the finance ministry. So these different bodies are under different ministries. This also is a homework for you. Try to find out CBI works under which ministry, Enforcement Director under which ministry, the civil servants are under which ministry, okay, find out all these things. So this is a cartoon which came not now, little few years back, that once the Congress government was controlling the CBI, now, and all their cases were getting clean chit and all, and now Modi government is getting this CBI in there like a caged parrot. That is the actual phrase told by the Supreme Court, okay, caged parrot. So there they are getting clean chits, okay, whoever is there in their side, they are getting clean chits and cases are getting solved one by one. Enforcement Directorate and CBI is not taking any action. So now the thing what we are discussing now is ED the new caged parrot, okay, more than CBI now there is no ED, okay, meaning all the opposition people, case after case is being registered, and ED is doing much more things which they are not supposed to do, okay. Everybody will have some roles, right? If you start doing everything which the police should do, then what is police for? Understanding? So that is what we are discussing here. The act which we have is Prevention of Money Laundering Act, PMLA 2002. So they have given certain powers to this Directorate of Enforcement Directorate, enforcement, that is ED, with the powers of money laundering, meaning it's not like you do a corruption or you take a bribe. That is not the thing which is called money laundering. Money laundering means there is money and you are misappropriating the money. You are maybe transferring it to multiple people, you are illegally taking in some other's name money, you have to play with the money, something that is called money laundering, okay. Taking bribe, that is the job of the police or CBI or whoever is investigating, they will come and arrest you. After that, this money's path, right, that money laundering which happened, that is their job actually. But now author is telling ED is not doing this, ED is directly doing what police has to do. They are calling whoever they want to their office, they are like asking questions from morning to night. You would have seen in multiple cases, morning to night questioning is going on, like grilling the convict, the person, okay. So that is being questioned here. That is the full article. So last few years, ED has assumed powers akin to that of a policing agency and has often been accused of turning its gaze against political opponents of the union government. This is what is happening or being witnessed in the last few years. Recently, I discussed this article already. Union government granted this person, ED Director Sanjay Kumar Mishra, a third extension. Okay, earlier no, these terms you will study in polity textbook and you will study. It will be random. Okay, 65 years of age and then this much years of this thing or 1 year like that. Recently they made something like 2 years fixed term, meaning nobody can dismiss you, suspend you, anything. You can freely do your work. 2 years fixed term and then 1 year extension each time up till you get 5 years total. So 2 years and 3 extensions, 5 years. But again and again, same person being extended, Supreme Court did not like it and Supreme Court struck it down. That was one news which we already discussed last week's editorial. So they're telling ED is not the police. Okay. PMLA, the act, is something, if you see, they are using Latin phrases. Okay, it's a very difficult article. If you read it yourself, maybe you will struggle. Okay, this sui generis legislation they are telling. Okay, the bracket thing I have put it there too for your understanding. This act is a class by itself. It has its own stand. It's a body by itself. It's a unique thing. Okay, so that is for what it is made. It is made to tackle money laundering through white collar crimes. Okay, same thing. You are playing with the money. Okay, some businessmen, some people, bureaucrats, somebody is playing around with the money. That to tackle that only ED was formed. Okay. And different sections I will read out in this article. Lot of sections are there. Section 3, Section 14, Section 50. So it's not very important, but you can just for sake of understanding. Section 3 of the PMLA and under different schedules, they are telling when these people are investigating, right? ED is in questioning someone, there should be a predicate offense. Again, see, sine qua non. Again, Latin phrase they have told, meaning essential condition. Okay, predicate offense is sine qua non to charge someone of money laundering, meaning ED should not be concerned when bribe is taken or that one. Okay, the offense being happening, right? The offense is like suppose somebody is taking a bribe. That is the offense. That police will take care. After that, you feel like that money, something he has placed, he has put it into some other neighbor's account. Then from there again it is gone. Something rotates and then again comes back to him. That play when it happened, that is when you have to enter. Okay, so that predicate offense, that let it happen first. Let somebody arrest that person, let investigation happen, then we will hand over to the ED. Before that, you don't come. Okay, before this essential condition happens, you don't come into the play. That is what the author is telling. Okay, so investigation and prosecution of the predicate offense is done typically by the CBI or the state police. And section 50 of the PMLA provides powers of a civil court to the ED authorities. This maybe UPSC can ask it. Okay, like Enforcement Directorate has the power of a civil court. It is true statement. Okay, section 50 of the PMLA gives it. That also maybe, because UPSC is making statements tough now, that also they will do. Instead of PMLA Act, they will give some other Crimes Act 2002 something. And that will be wrong, because under the PMLA Act, it gets the powers of a civil court. Okay, this much detailing level questions coming nowadays. Okay, some student asked me yesterday that questions of polity are not coming from Lakshmikant. Should I stop reading Lakshmikant? That is one of the most blunder question actually, but it's okay. You are a beginner, you will feel that. Don't listen to these rumor spreading people. Okay, ask to some genuine teacher, then you will get the correct answer. Lakshmikant is mandatory because that gives you the static information of the complete polity, complete constitution of our country, all the officers, all the bodies, constitutional, non-constitutional, everything you will study, preamble, fundamental rights, everything. These things are in the news, you have to catch up. Don't expect Lakshmikant author will sit and correct everything or keep adding all the news articles into your textbook. Okay, this is news items. In news, what happens that you have to study extra. That doesn't mean stop Lakshmikant. Okay, so section 50 gives them the civil court and power, and so you can start summoning people, okay, who you think have done some laundering, money laundering, and then record their statements and then let them go. And then Supreme Court is telling that ED authorities are not police officers. Your job is, when it's assigned to you, that time do it. Okay, and they are telling one case also. This also in your answers and all you can use. Vijay Madanlal Chowdhury versus Union of India 2022. Again, the section 50 was told that the nature of inquiry against the proceeds of crime and is not investigation in strict sense in the term. Okay, meaning they should be in the proceeds of the crime. That is what their style of this thing should be, not in the actual investigation in strict sense. That is not your job. Okay, and now this is important points actually. The red color I've highlighted. There are many dissimilarity between ED's way of working and police way of working. I don't know whether this will be asked in UPSC, but this is a very close by points. Okay. If you see, police are required to register an FIR, first information report, for a cognizable offense. Meaning, I think without warrant you can go and arrest, that is a cognizable offense. So, police need to have an FIR before conducting any investigation. Okay. ED authorities begin with search and procedures and undertake their investigation for the purpose of gathering materials and tracing the proceeds of crime by issuing summons. Meaning, police, they have a proper write an FIR, then begin the investigation. That you would have seen in movies and all. But ED directly will give you a call, come to our office, we want to question. There's no paperwork, there's nothing. Okay, after that maybe you will get a notice or something, but that's the main difference between the working of police and working of ED. Okay, and it's not over, more points are there. A statement made by an accused to the police is inadmissible as evidence to the court. Okay, to the police you tell whatever, that need not be admissible in court. Okay, in court that person has to again go and repeat. Okay, even the court, if he tells opposite thing, the convict, then it is gone. Okay, so that is why police hit someone and make him tell something also. It is not valid in the court. In court, he has to repeat the same thing one more time in front of the judge. Okay, but a statement made to an ED authority is admissible. Because there, I think in video camera you will record and there is a proper recording and all. ED, you tell something that is taken in the court, that is valid in the court. This is a very important point. UPSC will ask you this. Then again, the copy, as I told, the copy of FIR is accessible to the accused. Okay, whereas the enforcement's case information report, okay, their FIR kind of thing is seldom available, meaning not available. So these three are very, very important points, difference between ED and police, okay, functioning. Please note down. Now, in Rajya Sabha, when discussion was happening about the PMLA bill amendment or something, okay, new one, that time also Union Minister of some Finance told that he was not entrusted with the responsibility of acting as a policeman of the country or acting as a policeman on the economic morals of the country. Okay, same thing. This finance, actually ED comes under Finance Ministry. So, it's not given the job of a police. Okay, and it should not be like disguised for political vendetta or political revenge taking. Meaning when now BJP is in power, don't use ED to go and simply put cases on all the other people. Because when you ED calls someone and questions, it will become flash news. It will become like every full breaking news it will become. So you will feel like, okay, all these are corrupt people, and when election comes, obviously then you will not vote against that person. So don't play this thing for political revenge taking is what the author is telling, and even that finance minister is telling. And here section 19 and section 45 they have mentioned. Okay, that's why I told this is a little technical and detailed article. So the powers of arrest under section 19 of PMLA permits superior ED authorities to arrest any person whom they have reason to believe is guilty of money laundering. Meaning you don't need proper proof and this thing. You have some reason to believe that that person is guilty, then ED can arrest, and that is also this arresting power. That also UPSC will ask. ED has the power to arrest someone under PMLA Act. It is true. Okay, section 19 gives them that power. Now, after arresting, getting bail is also difficult. Okay, section 45A or 45 of PMLA is making it very difficult for them to, lot of conditions are there to get bail. So that also is written in the PMLA Act. And that phrase, reason to believe that he is guilty, that's a very awkward kind of phrase. Okay, so this reasonableness test is not correct, and overall that is complete negativity only. These are not correct, and courts also should look into it, which usually is not done. And in the last few years, they are telling the list of people against whom ED cases have become, or ED arrested the ministers. If you see, everyone is in the opposition. Okay, Delhi government's this Manish Sisodia, you know, this Kejriwal's kind of right hand, you can tell, that person. Then the Shiv Sena person, Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan's some secretary, again Chhattisgarh, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, wherever BJP is not ruling, all these people have been at least arrested once for questioning. Okay, because they have a reason to believe that they have done some money laundering. And this is all fine, but you are arresting all these things, but none of the cases are proved. Okay, the hit rate is very low. The numbers, if you want to note down, only 1142 cases out of the 5,900 cases registered since 2005 has proper charge sheet and proper concluding of investigation. Okay, 85% of the cases registered are against those from the opposition parties. Okay, from 2005. So meaning it is there both sides. If Congress was ruling, everything will be against the BJP. If BJP is ruling, everything will be against the Congress or the other parties. So this raises another fundamental question about the role and purpose of the ED. Okay, so it is not clear whether ED has managed to do this. Do this means properly do the proper thing, proper arresting, proper crime investigation, this and all, whether they have done or not doesn't know. And they are giving a comparison with the UK's similar act. UK has another act of Proceeds of Crime Act 2002. So that they are doing in some way where properly they are confiscating the assets of people who did something wrong, money laundering and all, they are doing fine. India could not match to it. That kind of comparison they have given here. And of late, much of the ED's power has been discharged in affecting pre-trial arrest, which used to be the political opponents. Okay, meaning you are mostly arresting the political opponents. In the process, the agency received the condemnation of various courts and earning the nickname Caged Parrot. Okay, that's the nickname which is got. Whether the ED will go down the same path, meaning like how CBI became the Caged Parrot, whether ED will go to that same thing or they will reorient its approach will entirely depend on the intervention of the country's constitutional court. Meaning we will wait and see whether court gives some strict warning or something to the government and they strike down again more of these extensions and all these things which the center is doing. We have to wait and see, else ED also will become a caged parrot like CBI. Okay, this was little lengthy because it was a very difficult article. Okay, that is why I'm telling, be with me every day, watch editorials. Now next day something comes on ED and CBI and all, you will be very easily understanding because the main base, the main concept I have taught you. Okay, now the extra GK things you have to study, like the basics in Lakshmikant will be there about CBI and ED one chapter will be there. That you have to study, which ministry they are, what is their age limit, who can become that person, or like that kind of static. No, that you have to study. These things I will teach you. So both combined, okay, both combined, 1 year you will get a lot of information. Anything UPSC ask, because people coaching class keep telling that UPSC is changing format, it is becoming difficult. Nothing matters. Concept, whose concept is clear. No, UPSC ask whatever question doesn't matter, whatever format, whatever option style doesn't matter, because you know when the question comes about some national parks, you know everything about the national parks. Let them ask whatever. You are very good in static and current affair. How can they fool you? They cannot fool you. So I want our Vysh IAS students to be that standard that let them ask whatever. we will answer it. Okay, teaching part I am doing, studying part you have to do. Together we can create huge results. Okay, so please watch every day these editorial videos. Tell me in comment sections whether you want this every day, because if I don't see attendance of 100-200 people daily, I will not be doing it the next day. So please put a comment, thank you, okay, or what you understood from there, or any questions I asked in the video, answer for that. Please do that and come in WhatsApp, because there is a lot to study. Okay, start now, start early, so that you are ahead in the race from your competitors. I will keep it going. Okay, so you also keep it going. Thank you and have a nice day.